From 1450 CE to 1750 CE, China gets rid of Mongol influence and continues the era of the Ming dynasty. Also, the Manchurians will enter the scene and take over, creating the Qing dynasty. The Chinese will bring back a lot of old culture, such as the civil service exams. China begins focusing internally on themselves and continues to limit trade with the outsiders.
Politically, in China during this time period, the Ming dynasty continued, but declined due to the decrease in overseas interaction. Emperor Yongle was a weak leader and a good portion of his administration became corrupted and cost the Ming dynasty money. Many public work projects that had been promoted by Hongwu were failing, which led to starvation and rebellion. In addition to the internal instability, there were foreign invasions by the nomadic Manchurians. Chongzhen fell to the Manchus in 1644, ending the Ming dynasty and creating the Manchu-Qing dynasty.
Socially in China, during the 1450 to 1750 time period, Chinese people were well educated. After the fall of the Yuan dynasty, the Ming re-established civil service exams and all Chinese Confucian teachings. Elites were well educated and literate as well. Women, on the other hand, were only able to gain power and status by becoming imperial concubines. Reforms were made under Hongwu for the lower class. There was an increase of public work projects and a decrease for forced labor. Unoccupied lands were also tax exempt, which encouraged people to settle and cultivate new areas. The Chinese, unlike others, did not learn technology from the Europeans. They ignored European technology and continued to manage things the old way.
In this era, the Chinese had scarce trade with outsiders, especially the Europeans. Mainly, their economy was based on exports. Europeans were only allowed to trade in two cities, Macau and Canton.
One of the biggest changes during this time was that the Chinese completely eliminated all traces of Mongol influence. The civil service exams were brought back, making the scholar gentry class important again.
Since the Yuan dynasty fell apart, the Ming dynasty entered with Hongwu leading them. Hongwu had a difficult life because of the corrupt Mongols. This made him want to create a more traditional dynasty like his predecessors, which made them bring back the civil service exams. At the end of this time period, the Europeans began to take interest in the Chinese. Since the Chinese didn't take and use Western technology for themselves, China would become economically and militarily dominated by the Europeans.